In this video, I'm going to show you how to make a stock market dashboard using Google Finance and using free data that you can use inside of a Google spreadsheet. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go over to a Google spreadsheet that I have here. If you don't have a Google account already, feel free to create one. I'd like to set up some of my heading first. Then I like to make sure that I always understand where this specific field is. I'm going to use A2 as the place where I put my ticker. I do like to put it in some color like that so it's really easy to find on the page, especially if you start to add a lot of additional indicators. So what I'm going to do right now first is go ahead and call in the formula for Google Finance. And if you have any questions about how to do this, I do really encourage you to go look in one of my previous videos where I do show you exactly how to be able to pull Google Finance information and Google data. So that if you are curious about how I do this so quickly and you're like, oh, I wish I understood how we did this. So now that we have A2 as the place, you can see we're not getting any data. The first thing I want to do is just throw in some company. This is going to pull all the data for this individual ticker. And again, if you want to change this, let's say I want to change it to Facebook, it's just going to pull the data. If I want to change it to Apple, again, it's just going to pull the data. You're going to get, when you do all, you're going to get date, high, low, open, and close. It does come in kind of in that descending. So at the bottom is where we're going to have more of the new stuff. And actually, just to make this simple for the right away, I'm not even going to do, I'm not going to do 365. I'm not going to do a full year yet. What I'm going to do actually is just get 100 days, so it's a little bit easier to see. Actually, I can zoom out a little bit just to make sure that we can see this a little bit easier too. And the first thing that I want to do now that I have the data is actually I like to look at the price to get an idea on if it is what the close is over the past day. So if I do 1 day return, let's do just like to be, it's one of those things, you know, like as a person you just like to get an idea of how you like to do your stuff. Let's see if this is like this minus. So what we were able to do there is just very quickly be able to generate a 1 day return. Now I want to do it for however many days this is. It's a week or whatever we have here. So let's say, so it looks like that was the actual week. So this is the full week right here. So you have Friday, Thursday, Wednesday, Tuesday, Monday. So this is going to give me, I should use 5 day instead of 7 day. What I want to see is this price. There we go. So now when I go to the bottom here, I can very quickly to the percentage. And again, if you don't know how to do any of this stuff, go ahead and watch the very first video about how to be able to pull this data. If you want to know the formula and stuff, it's pretty easy. Once you get a feel for it, it really opens up your eyes to what you can do with free data. Since that's how many trading days are actually in a month is 20 days. So if I go to the 3rd, to the 23rd, so if we go here, what we're going to do is F23 minus F3 divided by F3. I like to do the times one, doesn't really do anything, but just, it's a personal thing. So you can see we've got the rolling returns, and now let's go to 60. So at 3 months, we're going to be at 63. So this is going to be F63 minus F3 divided by F3 times 1. That's going to be your percentage return since then. And now we are going to go and make that percentage. So what I wanted to do is I actually went back and shot this part again because I wanted to cover what it looks like when we're changing the 1 day, 5 day, 20 day, and 3 month return. And I think when you look at the returns right here, you kind of get an idea of what might be happening with the price, but it's not incredibly visual. I mean, you have a positive or negative number, but it's not incredibly visual. One of the things I like to do is I like to get an idea of if the number is if the return is positive or negative. So I can do some simple conditional formatting here. I'm just going to do, you can do much more complex than this, but I'm just going to do if the price or if the return is greater than 0, it's going to be green, and then if the return is less than 0, it is going to be red. And then so you can see I do that. I have that over that entire group of numbers. And if you don't know how to do that, you can either just drag and drop, or if you are more proficient, you can just use the hotkeys. Because now when I do a quick perusal, I can start to see patterns. Especially, I like to see the 1 month of the 20-day. I start to go negative because then that'll usually lead into the 3 months going negative, and that's usually the beginning of a pretty good bull or a bear trend, and vice versa on a bull trend. This is Apple. Let's actually, what I'm going to do as well is add just a little bit more data since we can get added into this. Actually, what I'll do is I'm going to look at just a different company, one that I'm pretty sure is bearish right now. And you'll start to see that even if you just took the 1 month or 20-day when the rolling return became negative, and you shorted, you really would have been able to make a good chunk of money. Is I want to show how to be able to have a moving average on your Google spreadsheet. This is going to be common for a lot of folks. I don't use moving averages very much in my trading, but I know that people are going to like to see it. So let's just say, I know what is a very common one. I think for a lot of folks, like a 12 or 15, I think, I don't know. Everybody's got different ones. Let's just use a 21-day moving average. Okay. And this is going to be very straightforward because we already have an average function that exists inside of Google Spreadsheet, so it's very straightforward. I'm just going to wrap that. What I'm going to do, so again, since this is the 3rd, I'll start on the 24th, and then I'll do an average of the close. And I like to do, I don't like it to be the including day, so this will be the average. So it is $299, at least there. It's probably good that we actually format all this as well, because why not? We are here. Let's make it look pretty. This is stuff we're going to use every day. So now that I have the moving average, something I like to do as another thing, which is part of this, which is actually, and actually this is how I like to do it the best, is price minus the moving average. So if we are to take, I believe, this minus this, so that is going to show us how far price is above or below the 21-day moving average. And again, this is my personal preference. I think a great way to look at this is to do some conditional formatting. There's so much easy conditional formatting you can do. Is greater than 0, and then is less than 0 will be oh, those are all, oh, that's why, because they're all less than 0. I was like, why is it all red? But it's because it's all less than 0. So you can see that it's been under its 21-day moving average and falling. Now, if we were to look at something like Apple, which is probably above its 21-day moving average since it's been pretty positive until recently, which is nice. See, these are the ways that you can look and really quickly use some Google finance data to be able to build some sort of like dashboard to look at what you're looking at.